did that. Gotta do that. Got my to-do list. There's a lot on it. Got that. It's for future info. Hello. Hello, hi. What fish stuff happened? Oh, you don't even know. Is there shark news? There may or may not be shark news. Shark/Ray news. It's alright, fossilized teeth. I think you only missed one. I didn't stream yesterday. Bro, I had an all-day fishing trip, and my plan was to get home, stream my hour of Tetris, and then watch Genesis, the big Melee tournament that was happening. And I laid down on my couch and I clocked out, and I didn't wake up until 6 a.m. this morning. So I did not stream Tetris yesterday. And this morning I had to I threw my phone across the room. This is not a joke. I actually did this. I threw my phone across the room because I went to pick it up and I was like, oh my God, what if someone texted me something related to the tournament and they spoil it for me? So I threw it across the room. And then I went and I put the tournament on my TV and I laid on the couch and I watched what I had missed from last night. You guys like the tank view? I just set up the camera I pulled my couch back and put the camera on my couch. Wait, is there cameraception? Can you see the camera on this camera? Oh my God, you can. You can see the camera on my couch on this camera. Here, I'll just make it most of the screen. There you go. Now you don't have to look at my dumb face anymore. You can just look at my fish tank. Yes, exactly, glasses. What species are in there? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Okay, what species aren't in there? That's an easier question. It's not, but let's talk about it. All right, so we've got big guy in the middle right there with the messed up scales. That's a common shiner. All right, the other big guy swimming around with some color on his fins, that's a satin fin shiner. Okay, we've got some blunt nose minnows swimming around. There is a big spot tail shiner in the bottom right now. There are both iron color and bridle shiners swimming in schools. There goes one right across the left side of the tank right now. There are two eastern mud minnows living amongst the weeds and rocks. There is a banded killifish who tends to stand towards the top of the water. There are two blue spotted sunfish who I have not seen since they arrived in the weeds of this tank because they love living in the weeds. What am I missing? Oh, there's one eastern black-nosed dace. There's also a long-nosed dace. And yes, all of these fish are native to New Jersey. And I'm still missing plenty. I want to get a pearl dace. I want to get a comely shiner. I want to get a swallowtail shiner. And I want to get an eastern silvery minnow. So I'm missing 4 species. And then I will have basically every minnow species in New Jersey, every interesting one at least, in a fish tank. That tank technically a tax write-off? Holy shit. Wait, now that I've showed it on stream, does it technically count as a business expense for me to have this tank? That's a great idea, glasses. That's great. What about the plants? I don't know anything about plants. I found them bitches in a spring and I said, you're coming home with me, and I put them in a bucket. There's like 8 different species in there. I don't know what a single one of them are. No, the goal is not to get every fish in New Jersey. That's way too many. I just wanted the shiners. But I'm not even going to do all that because I'm not going to get a creek chub or a fall fish. Those shiners get too big, and golden shiners, they'll eat the other ones. I nat them, they're already in the tank. There's a bunch of different species in there. I need to start taking pictures of aquatic plants when I go out, though. I don't typically do that. No, there are no orcas in the tank. So did you guys hear the fish news that we're going to talk about today? Oh, cat update. So I went and I met the cat. And the cat was very cute and very chill and very accepting of love. And she's very shy. She was in a new place. They had like moved her to a new room recently, so she was shy in general already. But she was very chill, and I could give her scratches on her neck and her head, and she loved it and leaned into my hand. But she was just sitting still. So you guys probably don't notice. Yeah, you don't notice because you can't really see it. But typically there's a shelf right there, like a big shelf. And I moved that shelf because there's going to be a cat post back there. I'm gonna have a cat bed and a cat post. So in the future on streams, you guys can see my cat chilling in the background of the stream. Hold on. Gotta make sure I'm in frame. All right. You better set up a cat cam. Bro, I got the fish tank cam. What do you want from me? That's pretty good. This is the first time I've had the proper fish tank cam. Usually, I just have the camera at my desk pointing at the side of the fish tank. Now you can actually see the front of it. This is the first time you guys have really seen the full fish tank, unless you watched that one video where I showed it off. There's fish news today. But that was cat news that I just shared. Her name is Mala. What kind of fish news? Shark and ray news. And also something else that I forget that someone recommended to me, but I put it in there. I don't have a ton of content today, I'll be honest. Do one of those VR 360 cams live on stream? Interesting. Don't think so. Dagger nose shark, we are both sharks. Yes, there's frill shark, dagger nose shark, and shark sexer in chat. Really got the whole community coming out today to the AVNJ chat. Hey, everyone pretend like the real Goomy said something funny. Ha ha! The real Goomy. The Megalodon being alive? No way. Where'd you come up with that one? That's a great joke that I have never heard before. No one has ever come in here and made a Megalodon joke. You, sir, are a master of comedy. Thank you so much for your chat message. I want you to know that you are treasured in this stream, and every message you write is comedy gold. All right, I'm gonna ban him now. Mods. What about Crabzilla? Oh no, obviously that's different, right? No, Megalodon's never funny, but Crabzilla is always funny. That one's a great joke every time. Of course, keep doing those ones. I'm not gonna click that link. Drew Carey religion. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Sea cucumbers are very dangerous. That's a less common joke. Back when that video came out, it was a common joke, but now not nowadays. Anyone got anything fish related to talk about? I need to make a video from the beginning of stream. So can you guys talk about something fish related that I can't? You do? Well, I know I do, but that's a different video. You guys are new to this whole content creation thing, but I'm trying to make a bunch of videos at once so that I don't have to go live and do fish again very soon, because believe it or not, making a new fish video every 3 days becomes quite difficult in terms of coming up with new ideas. So just ask questions related to fish. That's what we should do. At the beginning of every stream where I'm not in a rush, let's just do fish question time. And you guys can ask me questions. Oh my God, I didn't at my Discord. Hold on. I forgot. Skull emoji. At everyone. Fish. There we go. Ask me any question about fish and I will talk about it, or even adjacent related. Doesn't even have to specifically be related to fish, and we'll just talk about fish, and that'll make some videos where I just talk about fish, which is perfect. Don't even need a topic. All right, let's get rolling with fish question time. Okay, question number 1. Did you see the new eyelash viper species? No, I did not. What country has the most intriguing fishes to you at the moment? Ooh, that's a good question. To me, I love minnow diversity. So like Southeast Asia is always the most interesting to me for cyprinids, because those minnows are always quite cool. I still really want to go to Borneo. Been thinking about going to Borneo, been trying to go to Borneo for a long time and just have not like made the commitment to actually go there. I've got friends there. I've got a biologist that I could stay with there, would see a ton of cool fish, but you know. Let's see, what's next question? Which is better, Indonesian or West African coelacanth? Indonesian coelacanth is way better. I also support the Twitter theory that there is a dwarf freshwater coelacanth somewhere in Southeast Asia that we've yet to discover. Let's see. What are fish? Fish are mostly a genetic thing.
Money jump scare.
Thank you, Val. Fish are mostly a genetic thing. They're just like after lancelets in the taxonomy, and technically everything after that is a fish. But we tend to put them into this like weird box where like a fish has to have gills, but then sometimes they don't have gills, and they have to have fins, but then sometimes they don't have fins, and they live aquatically, but sometimes they live on land. You know, it's like, yeah, the fish do the craziest things. Everyone knows the classic example of like, the lungfish can like go on the ground, and like mud skippers can walk on land and breathe. But there's like a catfish that literally lives in dirt. Just like moist dirt, and it's like a dwarf catfish that just lives in it. So it's like, you know, fish do whatever the hell they want, but technically you, the viewer, are a fish. Oh my God, there's so many questions. Thank you for all the questions. This is gonna be, we can make like 10 videos of you guys just asking me questions. What's the deepest living freshwater fish? I don't know the answer off the top of my head. Lake trout would make sense. Well, let's see, what's the deepest lake? That's probably the question. I guarantee that the deepest freshwater body in the world has fish in it that go to the bottom. So if it's Lake Baikal, is it Lake Baikal? Is Lake Baikal the deepest, or is it just the biggest? Lake Baikal definitely has some kind of something that goes to the bottom. In the US, it's probably lake trout or deepwater sculpin or something. Burbot have been found at 900 feet. That makes sense. Okay. Favorite fish that's not a shiner? Probably a coelacanth. I still love coelacanth. They're really cool. What is the coolest catfish? Are bihoon catfish? Bihoonichthyes. Are they technically catfish, or are they some weird... Oh, they're a spineless eel. Never mind. Yeah, they're symbranchiform. Probably mad toms then. I think mad toms are really cool. Do you like longhorn cowfish? Yeah, they're fine. What are the coolest fish in Georgia? There's a lot of cool fish in Georgia. All the Etowah stuff. There's what, an Etowah sculpin, Etowah darter, Etowah shiner. I think there's an Etowah sucker, hogsucker. That's pretty cool. First fish you remember catching? I actually have pictures on my phone of like, I went dip netting in this little creek that I would swim in as a kid, and I never knew what anything that I caught was. I just like had these pictures of these fish that I took as a kid, and I looked at them recently, and it was black-nosed dace, creek chub, common shiner, and white sucker. I had like hundreds of pictures of these fish that I had caught while swimming. I would literally swim underwater in the creek with the net and pull up minnows, and those were the 4 species that I would see. A fish you'd like to rediscover? Dude, finding the Maryland darter would get me... My YouTube views would skyrocket. I'd be on the news. Finding Pearl Dace in New Jersey, not a single damn person cared. That video got 1 million views on YouTube, and I don't mean that like hyperbolically. It literally got 1 million views, 1 in 6 zeros. But in general, no one really cared, and it didn't have any like longevity for the channel. If I rediscovered the Maryland darter, sheesh, man, that'd go crazy. Favorite freshwater fish is just my favorite fish, which is bridal shiner. Your thoughts on codependence in aquatic life? I don't know what that means. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Okay. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Okay. What aren't fish? Invertebrates, plants, fungi, bacteria, virus, that kind of thing. Everything after a landslide is a fish. Why are fish? I don't know. Build a niche, I guess. Have you ever seen a sea spider? Thank God, no, I have not. What triggers fish stunting growth based on environment size? The general understanding, there's not a ton of research into it, but the general understanding as far as I'm aware is that fish are mentally, consciously or subconsciously, their brain at least is aware of the fact that they don't have room to grow, and so as a survival tactic they will purposefully stunt their own growth, so they'll reduce their own growth in certain areas. The problem is they're not very good at doing that. They don't just like suddenly stop growing, right? So some cells grow and other cells don't. And in particular, one of the things that they're able to stop completely, but not the cells around it, is the spine. And so what you'll really often see in stunted fish is that they'll have like an irregular spine. So like whether it's kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis, whatever, the spine is like bent in some way. And that's a result of the tissue around the spine growing, but the spinal cord as a whole not growing. What was the last fish you ate? Probably in like 2008, as an 8-year-old, I had a tuna fish sandwich. That's probably the last fish I ate. I wish I lived in moist dirt. Me too, man. Fish do whatever they want, true. If fish transitions entirely to a land animal, would it still be a fish? Yes, because those type of things are determined taxonomically. It's an interesting question because we are just fish that transition to land. Reptiles are just fish that transition to land. Amphibians are just fish that transition to land. Birds are just fish that transition to land and then to the air, right? So it's like, you have to draw the line somewhere, but who knows? Would you go to Thailand? Dude, I want to go to Thailand so bad. Thailand seems like one of the most foreign-friendly countries in the world, as long as you don't bring weed, and I don't smoke, so that's no issue with me. But yeah, Thailand seems like a really cool place. Crazy fish diversity, crazy everything diversity, and they're very used to foreigners. Like Malaysia wasn't an issue, but they definitely had, like, a lot of those people had never seen a white person in their life, living in, you know, rural Malaysia, obviously. And they were very nice. They were just on the curious side. Like, they'd ask me questions about like Trump and stuff, you know, funny stuff. But Thailand, I mean, I imagine it would be even more. They're just used to it, you know. You don't even get looked at probably too much. Shut up, Val. Hi, Zubarix. My favorite shark is the epaulet shark. It's just a cool adaptation. The fact that they can turn their brain off to save oxygen is really cool. Are yellow bullheads and brown bullheads different species? Absolutely. Black bullheads are also a different species. I don't just say that in terms of like they literally are a different species, but I believe that those are well-founded taxonomical splits. Now, white versus black crappie, I have my opinions. I've seen the genetics. I've done eDNA tests and I've seen the genetics, and let me tell you, crappie, white and black, have very close to indistinguishable genetic sequences. I think it's just two different color morphs that we've called species, but who knows? What is the worst fish besides seahorse? I have a whole video on that, but I hate pineapple fish. A lot of people like them and think they're cool. I think it's the ugliest pattern I've ever seen. Baikal is the deepest? Okay, whatever fish goes to the bottom of Lake Baikal. Favorite darter species? That's a good question. It would definitely be a Persina. I'm trying to think if there's like a proper I'm trying to remember that one Persina. Or maybe it's just like a scaly sand darter or a diamond darter. I'll say it's a tie between a diamond darter and like a dusky darter. But like a real colored up nice dusky darter. Oh my god, there's still so many questions. Hold on. Is that a fish tank cam? Yes, it is. My god, there's so many questions. But thank you guys for asking so many questions. This is good. Best fish in Kentucky. You guys have sand darters, I think. You guys have Amacrypta or Crystalllaria. You guys have one of the rare genus, one of the rare genera of darter. So that's got to be the coolest one. I don't know if you have crystal darter or diamond darter or sand darter or scaly sand darter or naked sand darter. I don't know which one's in Kentucky, but you guys have one of the rare genus of darter. That's really cool. Who's up sucking they hog? Okay, thank you, Val, for your contribution. Hi, Boomew. Will you ever partake in inventing a fish yourself? I will let you guys be the sole witness, but you can tell nobody. I may or may not secretly, under a pseudonym, submit and invent a fish to the next invent a fish, but tell nobody. Let's see. What if you discovered the Jimmy Carter darter? I did not discover the Jimmy Carter darter. It's cool though. You should go exotic fish hunting for real, like in Florida. That'd be cool. Just go into canals and find all the various cichlid species. Be easy to get a lot of lifers. What's the best pet fish store? I haven't been to a ton because I mean, everything in this tank that you're seeing came from the wild. The plants are from a stream. The fish are all from various streams. The rocks are from a stream. Actually, the sand came from Home Depot. Everything else in the tank, though, came from a stream, and the water came from my hose. But everything else came from a stream, so I don't really go to pet stores very often. However, I will say, in New Brunswick, in New Jersey, if you're anywhere near New Brunswick, New Jersey, it might be in East Brunswick, not New Brunswick. There's this place called, is it Aquaradise? It might be Aquaradise on Route 18. And that pet store had that fish store had some really cool stuff. Can fish be depressed? Yes, absolutely. Depressed, when we talk about it in a human way, is very different from depressed in a animal way. But when I talk about like a depressed, meaning that a fish can be lethargic or something can be lethargic, absolutely. Yeah, and stress and emotional, if you want to call it that, mental factors can have physical consequences in slowing down the fish, which is depression as far as it's defined in the animal kingdom. Human depression is a lot deeper because we think too much. Do you know what the next AVNJ's Adventures is? I don't. I know there will be one in June in California. If you guys don't know, in June I am going to Los Angeles, California, to participate in the Tetris World Championships. So I will be probably going a week in advance and just fishing around like Utah, Nevada, California, catching all sorts of cool endemic fish. So there will be an AVNJ's Adventures West Coast in June, but I'll probably do something before then. I just don't know exactly what it is as of yet. Favorite Twitch viewer? That's tough. It might be G&G. I hate to say Young Flexer. It might be Flex though. Flex is like the best vibes in chat consistently, but I don't want to reward him because he hasn't been here in a long time. G&G's the homie, but G&G also hasn't been here in a long time. Nat is probably my most consistent viewer of all time, and I do love Nat, so I'll say Nat is my favorite Twitch viewer. I think on an average day, Flex brings some pretty awesome vibes, but I think Nat's the best.
Rerun that last create a fish marble run right now.
Okay. What fish should I draw? You should draw... if you want to work with... draw a bleeding shiner. Like a colored up male bleeding shiner. Google it. They're really pretty, and they use some very unique colors that not many other fish do. Is that a fish tank cam? Yes. Are fish friends, not food? Fish can be whatever you want them to. I don't judge people who eat meat. I just don't eat meat. Opinions on Boris Johnson? I don't know anything about Boris Johnson, but he looks like a knob. There used to be Maryland darters near me. There used to be Maryland darters near a lot of people. Unfortunately, they are extinct now. Lake Baikal has some really cool deep water sculpins. That's what I would expect. Freshwater sponges. That's cool. Giant freshwater amphipods. That's pretty cool. Why do some fish lay eggs and others just spawn them? Different adaptations. Yeah, that's basically it. Different adaptations. Some are viviparous and some are oviparous. Still don't know how to properly say that. Thanks for getting me that weed. It's so hard to get this stuff in Malaysia. That's not on my record. Doesn't fish technically not exist as a category? That's correct. There is technically no real such thing as a fish. And if you want to truly taxonomically define fish, it has to be from the thing that come from a landslet to everything after that. Like, we have to be fish if you want to give it a real taxonomic definition. Fish is basically just a made-up word that's convenient. It's the same thing as species. There's no real good definition of what a species is. It's just a word that we use because it's convenient for classifying things. Would you go to North Korea and fish if the government collapsed? If I was guaranteed no threat to my life, I would go to North Korea and fish right now. And that would be the single greatest YouTube video that I had ever made. Fishing North Korea for minnows. That'd be sick. I'll bet they have something endemic that they probably don't study. Do you think mud skippers will ever evolve into land-dwelling animals? Probably. At least some group of them. There are a lot of mud skippers. People consider mud skippers a conglomerate, but there's a lot of different mud skippers. Oh my god, there's so many messages. Okay. White crappie also tend to grow larger. Yeah, that can just be a environmental thing. Like, they can have different morphs, different forms. That doesn't make them different species. What's the most exotic / tropical fish you've seen in New Jersey? What's it called? Little Big Mouth or some shit? What's that fish called? Someone help me. It's orange and it's a deep water fish with a big ass mouth. It's very colorful. Big short fin. Big short rock. Small short rock. Small big, little mouth, big, orange, short fin. Yes, orange, big, deep water. Fucking hell, you guys are not helpful. Okay, I'll find it myself. It's short big eye. Henry Doodles 48. Somebody give that guy a prize. It is short big eye. You're actually the goat. That guy knows more about fish than everyone else in here combined. Anyways, I caught, oh, you can't see it because of the fish tank. I caught a bunch of these in New Jersey. Here's an in-hand picture of one. And here's a in-tank picture of one. Shout out to Henry Doodle. That guy's the goat. Goat. I don't know why I said goat. Okay. Pineapple fish look dumb. Best fish in North Carolina? Glassy darter. Opinion on the state of Nebraska? It's kind of, I don't have an opinion. I've only ever been to Nebraska once. I played in a duo volleyball tournament. I won and I went home. And that's it. So I've been in Nebraska for about 3 hours, played volleyball, won a tournament, went home. I love the sheer amount of plants you have in the tank. Thank you. Thank you. It's a bitch when it comes to decay, but quite nice. You like carp, but what is the worst carp? Black carp, probably. Jimmy Carter darter is a real darter, yes. What time of year is best for seeing shiners and breeding colors? Is it dependent on species or pretty universal? I'm looking for red sides in full color. It's entirely dependent on species, and if you're looking for red side, as in the California fish, the West Coast fish, that's nowhere near genetically related to most other fish in the United States. So I would just look up the breeding seasons of the specific species that you're targeting. I don't know when red sides breed off the top of my head. Most shiners fall into 2 categories, which is the first rain of spring, so the first cold rain that enters the water. So basically an influx of cold water will cause them to breed. and some fish breed when the water reaches its highest temperatures and it rains. So that's the two you tend to see. You tend to see like late summer and early spring are the two times that most shiners will breed. But any individual shiner can adapt any individual's strategy, and I don't know red side shiner well enough. There, Richardsonius is a weird, very weird genus genetically and taxonomically, so you'd have to look up that specific species. Home Depot sand is my favorite after school snack. Yep, love eating. You should not eat sand. Silica is harmful and destroys your lungs. What's the story behind the Union Square Donuts hat you're wearing? I went to Boston 3-4 weeks ago, and they had this nice little indoor area that had a bunch of different shops and food places. And there was a donut shop there, and they had good donuts, and we were getting donuts, but they had a beanie hanging, and they had a black beanie hanging on the glass. And I was like, that's a pretty dope beanie. And so I asked, how much? And he said $20. And I was like, sure, $20 for a cool beanie, I'll do that. New Brunswick almost mentioned. Querdice is an amazing name, that's true. Would that basically mean a lack of motivation for doing things? No, depression, I think, as it's defined in the animal kingdom, is mental and emotional stimuli causing a slowdown in physical actions.
Oh, you were in Boston? I
Yes.
hope you got better.
I am feeling much better, thank you. What kind of fish is the long, fat, silver ones in your tank? Those are satin fin or common shiners, the bigger ones. There's one spot fin, but I'm sorry you're coming here to Cali. No, it'll be a great time. I can't wait to drive 5 hours to catch one fish in the fucking mountains. Thank you for the recommendation, Wambly Pencil, but I don't think that's the type of fishing that I do. I don't use a rod. Are there fish in the Salt Lake? What is in like Salt Lake City, Utah? I guarantee there's fish in there. I don't know off the top of my head, but I bet there's fish in there. Oh my god, I'm so behind on chat. You guys are just talking about G&G now. Rerun that last creative fish a marble. Not for $1. I'm busy talking. How would you rank me as a viewer? I don't know, you're new. I haven't formed an opinion of you yet. But just know that every person who types in my chat, my brain is a library catalog of Twitch chatters' names, mostly of their color, like the name color, but of their names and basically the vibe of everything they said. I don't remember every word you type. I don't remember every joke you make, but I know your vibe off the top of my head, okay? And I'm not going to rate every viewer, but off the top of my head, I could describe some of you pretty well if you've chatted a decent bit. Come to NorCal. I know a great place for sticklebacks and red side shiners. I have all the sticklebacks, and red side shiners are in every creek on the West Coast. So I think I'll be okay, but thank you. Bye, Redwood. Great tank, thank you. Thoughts on the look down? It's a fine fish. It's kind of ugly. Have I missed the fish news? No, you have not, Will. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's so many chats. Oh my god, there's so many chat messages. This is gonna go forever. I hope the US government deploys me to North Korea to steal their fish. As long as they can guarantee my safety. Yes, taxonomy is indeed confusing. Wonder if North Korea has endemic fish. They almost assuredly do. There's a bunch of genera of shiners that are in like endemic to certain rivers in like Japan and South Korea and all that. If you don't mind, why don't you eat fish? Is it 1, because concerned about hygiene, 2, you feel an emotional connection to them, or 3, just don't like how they taste? I've been vegetarian most of my life, so they've just never been on the menu for me. The Maryland darter is definitely not dead. That would be cool. Opinions on the peppermint darter? Never heard of it. Sounds pretty cool though. Why can't we have colorful freshwater fish in Europe? They're all green, brown, and silver. 3-spine stickleback and breeding colors is like the most colorful fish we have. Oh, do you think that? That's cute. You think that? Let me show you my friend. Let me show you my friend, Dirty Jers. Shout out to Dirty Jers. This guy's the goat. This is my friend Mark. I go fishing with him all the time. Let me find it. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Europe doesn't have colorful fish. As he pulls this out of the fucking... out of France. Man, why can't Europe have colorful fish? Homie pulled that out of South France, I think. Where was it? The Upper Rhine. Oh, maybe not France, it's the Rhine. But, you know, there's plenty of colorful fish in Europe. Shout out to Dirty Jers, though. He's the goat. How could I try to find the river habitat of my area so I could build a tank? I would just spend a lot of time there netting, getting to know what the environment's like, what the fish are like in there. The coolest looking fish in Georgia? I have no idea. I don't know Georgia fish that well. Do you think there are fish in Fortnite? Don't you fish in Fortnite? Don't you like eat the fish for shield or something? Are there any European fish you'd like to see? I want to see every foxiness in the world, but I have not done so as of yet. Are those babies? Are you referring to the fish in my tank? Basically, every fish in my tank is at worst like an old juvenile. There's no true babies. What fish would be seeking in California? I have not chosen my route yet, so I'm not sure of exactly all the fish that I'll target. Usually what I do is, like, in the month before a trip, I find a bunch of access points, I find iNaturalist pins, fish map pins, make a list of target species, and then make a route to drive, because I'm gonna, you know, rent a car and such. I'm probably gonna fly into, like, south, or maybe north, like, I don't know, either North California or South California, and then get a rental car and drive around, and then end up in LA for the Tetris tournament. Hi, Ender. Do you ever see any really cool aquatic insects while looking for fish? Yes, all the time. I find tons of leeches, tons of toe biters, which are like they're called water bugs, water scorpions. I found the larval stages of basically everything that can live in the water. I've tons upon tons of different snail species, so forth. Tons of stuff. I downloaded Twitch for you. Congrats, silly monkey. What fish developments has occurred? We'll get there. Hey, Aram. Thinking of starting a native fish tank. Any suggestions for fish/plants in Massachusetts? Well, Massachusetts has a lot low, or wait, is MA Maine or Mass? It doesn't matter. They have the same fish. Regardless of whether you're in Maine or Massachusetts, you have much lower diversity than New Jersey. And really the only minnows that you have on us are rainbow smelt, which you should not put in a tank. So probably do some like spot tail, swallowtail, shiner thing. That'd be cool. Oh, the light on the tank went out. Let me go turn the light back on real quick. There are not fish in Salt Lake? I doubt it. Sorry, my fish tank light is on an automatic timer. Okay. I finished eating my dinner before we got to news. We'll get there. Be patient, man. What's my grade as a viewer? I'm not gonna rate viewers. Where are you fishing in Cali? I have not yet decided. Zach, I need to know what's going on in the fish world. Well, you need patience is what you need, Dagger Nose Shark. What vibes do I give off? You have good vibes, Stepfif. I like you. But I also know you outside of Twitch chat. Like, you participate in the GeoGuessr stuff and talk in the Discord chat. So that raises my opinion of people when I see them interact with other human beings in Discord like a normal person and like participate in cool things. But how many types of fish have you caught? Basically everything that's in this tank, plus a few tropical fish that I had when I was younger. Ohio dip netting video when? Probably no time soon, but fun fact, when I first started making YouTube videos, I wanted to go on a search in Ohio. I had talked to some ichthyologists there who were going to help me seine for the Scioto mad tom, which is a small dwarf catfish that went extinct in Ohio in the last 100 years. and I wanted to see if I could find it. Because imagine the headlines and the video title if I actually discovered an extinct species. If you guys all changed color of your username on Twitch, I would not remember any of you. Viewer tier list? I have unironically done this. Oh my god, do you guys remember the viewer tier list? No one in here remembers it, unless Nat is here. Nat might be the only person who would remember the viewer tier list. That was so long ago. I had so many less viewers, but I did a viewer tier list. I don't know if I'd be able to find it. Nat probably has it somewhere. I don't have it off the top of my head. No, none of you were here for that. This was years before my fish YouTube channel existed. That's why I say Nat is probably the only person who could reasonably be here right now who would know. The only other people who would know would be Aval, Flex, and maybe Willie. And maybe GNG. Why is black carp your least favorite carp? I think they're just the least interesting by far. What do you think about fully aquatic salamanders? They're pretty cool. I've never like purposefully tried to catch a salamander in my life with like a net, but I've caught all of the local species. I've caught newt, red salamander, dusky, two-line, all of the salamanders that New Jersey has just from netting structure, you know, to try and catch fish. Let's see. Why are we still asking questions if we're all waiting for fish in the news? That's correct. That's your fault. Hold up, water scorpions? It's not what it sounds like. They're not scorpions. Who fell asleep on their keyboard? Not me, right? Okay, I'm almost there. I'm almost to the bottom of chat. I love exploring streams and rivers, but sadly they're mostly blocked by private property around me. You can always find entrance. I've never found a stream that I couldn't get in. So if I did a little bit of trespassing, who knows? What's the rarest fish you've caught? Depends what you mean by rare. Do you mean like rare worldwide? It'd probably be one of the betta fish I caught in Malaysia, where there's like 100 of them in existence and they're in like one little forest in Malaysia. If you mean rare in terms of like it can be with qualifiers, it's probably the pearl dace in New Jersey. No, I'm not making a viewer tier list. Are you scared of any bug or animal? I don't like spiders. I have a weary relationship with them. I've gotten a lot better with spiders as I've learned about them and I can like identify them on site. And I would hold a jumping spider. I'd hold most spiders without being worried about it. I'm not like actively scared of them, but I still have like a natural instinctual fear that kind of, you know, holds me back a little bit. Do we have a classification as viewers? Like, are we AVNJers or like minnows or something? I have never named my audience. People have asked me before, but I've never come up with a good name. So if you guys have a good name for what my audience should be called. Oh, yep, that person did fall asleep on their keyboard. I see that. Anything else? Top 10 parasites on how well they do their job? I don't know, man. Trespassing, schmesh passing. That's what I say. Plup Club indeed. Except that he didn't go to Genesis, so fuck Plup. All my homies hate Plup. I understand his reasons, but you know. Call us your minnows. Minnows, reelers, hookers. Okay, well I don't use a hook, so that doesn't make sense. Fishers, seahorses, Freddy Faz fish, baby human-shaped megalodons. Call us your minnows. That is kind of cute. How you doing today, my minnows? It sounds like a pet name, though. My masturbators. I might be buying a jumping spider. Bro, rich people will buy anything. What do you mean buying a jumping spider? Bro, go outside. Bro, lift a leaf. You don't need to buy a jumping spider. They're out there. Touch grass. There's a jumping spider in it if you touch the grass. Hi, my little minnows. All right, I think I got to the end of the questions. All right, so that is all for question time today. That's probably going to make like 3 YouTube videos right there. Thank you for all the questions, chat. If you have a question in the future, please feel free to save it. Not ask me right now, and I will answer it during the next stream's question time. Now, you guys have been waiting a long time, so it's time I reward you with a little fish in the news. All right, so let us talk about the things that have happened in the world of fish in the past few days, maybe even the past week. And the number one thing that everybody has been talking about in the world of fish is, did a shark impregnate Charlotte the stingray in North Carolina? That's right. A stingray in North Carolina has become pregnant via either immaculate conception or a shark. And we won't know until the babies are born, but there is a pregnant stingray in a North Carolina aquarium that has not interacted with another stingray in, I believe, over a decade. Now, fish can hold on to sperm for a really long time. Female fish can hold on to sperm for a really long time. Years upon years upon years. However, this is pushing it. This is like too long. Now, there was, if you remember from a previous fish in the news, there was a shark in an aquarium, I don't remember where, that had a baby via parthenogenesis, which is essentially becoming, well, I guess it's not asexual, autosexual, becoming really egotistical and fucking yourself. There was a shark in an aquarium elsewhere that gave birth to identical babies. It was a miracle birth. No sperm involved. Just created its copies of itself. It just fucking duplicated like a cell, okay? So there is some precedent for sharks, rays, skates, elasmobranchs being able to do that. So that's another theory. This can be immaculate conception, fish Jesus, okay, that's theory 1. Impregnated by a shark, because that's the closest related thing in the tank. That's theory 2. Okay, it can be making a baby via parthenogenesis. That's theory 3. Or somehow has held on to another ray's sperm and kept it alive for such an obscenely long time that it breaks everything that we know and think about fish science already. That's theory number 4. Those are the 4 realities. Now, statistically and logically, the most likely by far is that the fish is reproducing via parthenogenesis, and that these are going to be exactly identical copies that will come out of the baby. Now, I don't know. Okay, it's been 8 years since she's shared a tank with a male stingray, so she could deliver soon. So we will probably get an update on this pretty soon. People are talking about a shark ray hybrid or stingray Jesus. I think that's unlikely. Hybridization, these fish, you can have some pretty crazy hybrids of some pretty unrelated animals, but a shark and a ray are like more unrelated than people think they are. Like, they're both elasmobranchs, but a shrey, that would be like you and I having a baby with like a capuchin monkey, right? Like, yeah, we're both primates, but that's just not, it's not gonna happen, man. So that's not likely. I think parthenogenesis is by far the most okay, they do say likely the result of parthenogenesis, a rare method of asexual reproduction, yet without a fertilized egg. Now, some fish do parthenogenesis on purpose. There are some fish that just straight up clone themselves. It's mostly live bearers. I think it's mollies. And then there's this weird type of parthenogenesis where a female fish will make eggs, fertilize them herself. So she has fertilized eggs, and then she will mate with a male. and the male's sperm is what triggers her to lay the eggs, to like fertilize the eggs herself. So this male sperm does not ever touch the eggs, does not fertilize the eggs, but by interacting with the sperm, she fertilizes her own eggs. So she's asexually reproducing, but with the like assistance and motivation of a partner. It's very weird. There's a lot of different cool niche things within parthenogenesis, but it would be very cool if that is the case. It would be even more cool if that is not the case. But yes, like it says here, a zebra shark, I believe this was in another aquarium like a few years ago, did have parthenogenesis. That did happen in these tanks where they go years and years and years and never see a male of their own species. So they're capable of doing something like that. Yeah, that'd be very cool. This would be the first documented case of it happening with a round stingray. Do we know what shark it potentially mated with? No, but I don't think that that's a real thing that happened. So I don't think you need to be concerned about it. The other research topic that we're going to talk about today is, together with the Ugomongi Rangers, found a new population of the threatened spear-toothed shark in the Roper River. This is a river shark, a rare river shark that is been found. They found a brand new population of it, a reproductive population in a river where it was not known to be before. Put bro back. They're taking a picture with bro. They're helping bro. Now, I don't know where the Roper River is. Roper River is under threat from water extraction. Obviously not the US, because I don't believe we have anything other than bull sharks in the US that come into freshwater. Inhabits only a small number of tropical rivers and adjacent marine waters in northern Australia and southern New Guinea. It's a critically endangered species in Australia. Freshwater shark comes up rivers, and they found a new population of them in the Roper River, which is fed by groundwater during the dry season by runoff from surrounding catchments. Where's the Roper River? Roper River. Australia. The Roper River is in Australia. In North Australia, it looks like. Yeah, in the Northern Territory. So they found a new population of freshwater sharks in Australia. That's pretty cool. These sharks live both in Australia and across the way in Papua New Guinea. And now they've been found in a new river in Australia. Congratulations to the sharks. Congratulations to the Ray on your baby. I hope your baby comes out all right and isn't a weird hybrid, because weird hybrids tend to either come out wrong or be sterile. But it would be cool if we got a Shark Ray hybrid. I'm going to go ahead and put my doubt sticker on the Shark Ray hybrid, though. All right. I'm done for today. I used a lot of energy, mental energy, answering questions. If you have fish questions, keep them in your mind. Next stream, I'll do more fish Q&A. And yeah, I will see you guys then. Goodbye. No, not more Tetris now. Tomorrow, though. More Tetris tomorrow.